Well, g'day again. Okay, just a little update. Been working on this panel. I'll call it a plenum. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, wiper panel. And if you'd watched the previous video, I'd patched a rust hole in here, and I did it without having doors, guards, or anything on, and I got it totally wrong on this side. That side sit almost reasonable. Got this totally wrong. And as I showed in the previous video, I'd cut the whole piece back off again. Got guards, door, got the vent panel in, and lined it all up, and then I tacked it, did it in two pieces. I tacked this piece in, got it lined up. So that's the other thing, it was so far across that this crease didn't line up at all. And it was actually pushing the vent panel over onto the other side, onto the piece on the other side, and the gap or the crease in the middle didn't line up either. So I cut this whole piece off. I then had to raise it. It was way too low. And so what I did is that I cut it all the way along, and then I lifted the whole thing together. I lifted it till it met up here, this point, and in a straight line with the guard. And like, it's still lower than the bonnet at the moment, but yet the bonnet's actually lower than the vent panel there. And the bonnet's not straight anyway, so it's sort of really hard to tell. As I said, I lifted this whole thing up even until it was right here, so I'm assuming that's the right height. And made this panel up last, put the curve in that. That was pretty simple, actually. I was a bit concerned about how I'd get the curve in that, because it goes around the bend, but it was quite simple. Had a bit of pipe under the bench with a curve in it, and I just laid it on there and just hammered it a bit. Got the shape right. So sort of went along, tack, 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 tack. Cooled it with air, and I'm pretty happy with where I got that now. If anything, it could be about a mil low. But a mil low, you can fill that up with filler primer. It's better than it being a mil too high. I've still got to get my chrome strips and check that this all lines up. I think it's pretty good. I'll check all that again, just to be sure. On the other side, as I mentioned in the previous video, it's still low across here. And as I said, like, the bonnet's not straight, but it doesn't seem to line up that well with this either. So I may have it over too far. And but I'm not cutting this whole one off again. I will cut it along here and through here. I'll pull that up a little bit. I'm not cutting the whole thing off again, because the rest of it's pretty decent. I think, this is not meeting the guard. When I pull the door out and meet the guard, I reckon the gap will be pretty good. So don't want to interfere with that, any of that. So I will just cut along here and just raise this up. What I did, like, when I raised it up, like, I had a 3 mil gap, and I just grabbed a bit of this wire, this sort of stuff. Don't actually know where it came from. I got quite a bit of it, and use that, just laid that in the gap. And the only issue is that sort of gowl it's not that great to weld. It fizzes and pops a bit, but yeah, fill the gap. I'll show you. I'll just grab a torch because I did the same thing on the door, and I didn't mention that in any videos either. I mentioned that that the gap was too big, but yeah, as you can see here, because I haven't. You can actually. I haven't finished welding it. But you can actually see the bit of wire in there. Yeah, did the same thing. Laid that bit of wire in here, got the gap even all up, way up, and started taking it together. Probably see them a little, just there. See the wiring laid. And, yeah, bit of a slow job. It's tack, tack, tack. Really had to learn to do that and have patience, you know. I get impatient and I get really tempted to just, start doing runs with the welder, but yeah. I've done that before. I did it on the Volkswagen and buckled the shit out of it, and yeah. And I panel beated as much as I could and put, a whole heap of bog in it, and yeah, don't want to do that in this. So, yeah. Learning to be patient. Anyway, still got to grind all that back yet, but in order to do that, I've got to take, dual guard bonnet off, and I'm not ready to do all that yet. I still got to drop the top of this door down and cut it off. Yeah. I'll be here, just above this piece. Here, down here. Bring that down 2-3 mils, so I got a reasonable gap at the top. And I've got to make up a panel for the bottom. Cut that off. It was all bent up. I caught that on a rock when I was out getting firewood a few years back, and had a rust hole in it anyway. But yeah, I've kept the piece I cut off. I don't know if I'll try and repair it or not. I'll just try and make a new one. Actually, it's still bent there. You can see that. See, it's curved in there. So straighten that. That's got to be done on the car before I take the guard off. That's got to be done on the car. And it's the same story over here. This had a big rust up. Oh, actually I haven't even cut it off yet. But yeah, you can't even see it, but in behind that, there's a piece of plastic sheet, and it's just bogged against it. It's just stuck in with bog. So yeah, I'll cut the bottom off the original guard. That's in fairly decent shape, so I'll weld that on. But so that's another thing that has to be done on the car that I want to do now before I take doors and guards off and everything, and finish cleaning up those welds and paint the firewall. Anyway, so that's what we're up to. I just thought I'd give you a look at this before I go cleaning it all up. And as I said, it'll be several days before I do get around to cleaning it up. But yeah, that's what it looks like when you finish welding it. Yeah, pretty daggy, pretty rough, a lot of grinding to do. That's another thing I've learnt by watching YouTube videos. I used to always grind these with a stone, and you gouge the crap out of it, and it's far better to I use a flap disc, but flap discs wear out pretty quick. I'm actually gonna try and get a a mini sanding pad. You just use like a 40 grit paper on a rotary disc, either on the drill or the angle grinder. Hopefully the angle grinder. Bit easy to do. And yeah, and there'll probably be pinholes in it here, there, and all over the place that I'll have to touch up, but I'm expecting that. But anyway, keep you updated if you're interested. Yeah, so we'll do these 2 bottom corners next. I'll leave that flute panel on the other guard until I've got the guard off again. But yeah, I'll do the 2 bottom corners on the top of the store, and then we'll, yeah, don't know if I'll do a video on that or not, but anyway. Then we'll clean it up. I'll definitely give you a look at this front panel before or after it's cleaned up. So, okay, thanks for watching. Bye.